Creativity in Learning, Helping Students Think More, Study Better, and Improve Grades. Video number 2. My name's Lisa Jones Bromfield. I'm a nurse, I've been a special education teacher, and I'm a musician. I wrote a CD of songs called Groovin' in the Hippocampus, Songs to Learn Anatomy and Physiology by, but more importantly to you, I'm a good student. I've always been a good student and had the opportunity to help some struggling students in my nursing school classes and learned a lot about different things that good students and struggling students do. So I had a chance to think about it, and I'd like to share it with you in the hopes that it can help you become a better student. So are the kids that could get better grades smarter? Do you think it all has to do with genes or brain size or luck? I don't think so, or I wouldn't be here talking to you. I think there are some successful actions that help people do well in school. Learn to organize information. Improve your grades. Understand relationships. Some teachers give out notes, some make you take your own notes from scratch, but in either situation, a good lecture is presented and organized as a hierarchy of information. Understanding how these hierarchies, or outlines, work is essential to you being able to organize your notes, organize information, and increase understanding. Anatomy and physiology is a subject that blends a lot of new vocabulary with new ideas. So keeping the relationships between ideas and names organized will help you on tests and help you with your understanding. Outlines are your friends. Take a look at an outline and understand how things are arranged in it. Arranging what you are learning and understanding which items belong under the same heading will help you understand how things are related. It will also help you narrow down which items you have to choose from to answer a test question. So, following is an outline of tissue types. I've left off neural so it will fit on one page and be easier to analyze. So this is an outline of tissue types. There are actually 4, the 4th being neural tissue, but again I left it off so you can look at this in one slide. So we have 3 main headings: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, and muscle tissue. If a professor is talking about tissue types, she might mention types of tissue: epithelial, connective, muscle, and neural. These are all at the same level of organization. All of these begin with a capital letter: A, B, and C. Same level of organization. Each type has subtypes. The subtypes are under numbers: 1, 2 under epithelial, 1, 2, 3 under connective, and 1, 2, 3 under muscle. If your professor asks for an example of fluid connective tissue, you can look at this outline and see you have 2 choices. You look under connective tissue, which is B, and you find fluid connective tissue is the next subheading, 2, and there are 2 types of fluid connective tissue: blood and lymph. So you know you have 2 choices, blood or lymph. If she asks for an example of cartilage and wants to know what type of tissue cartilage is, you can look at cartilage and you find it's under supportive connective tissue, which is a type of connective tissue. And within supportive connective tissue, cartilage is one choice and bone is the other choice. Underneath cartilage, there are 3 types of cartilage: hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage, and fibrocartilage. So if she asks for an example of cartilage, you can look one level down and see that hyaline cartilage would be an example. The material in a lecture may be presented to you in outline form, but there's so much information added in between headings of the outline that you may lose sight of the original organization of the material. You may forget that she's talking about connective tissue by the time she gets down to fluid connective tissue. You may think that that would be C, that would be the next large category of tissue type, because there's so much information in between. And not all professors do a great job of presenting the material the way this outline is presented, with different headings and, the capital letters and then the numbers and then the lowercase letters and then the little I's. So it can be difficult to keep track of that. This can confuse the student. So it's very valuable to go back and try to put your class notes into an outline. Make sure that your headings contain correct information and that the same levels, whether it's letters or numbers, have the same kind of information. As in our outline, the capital letters are all an example of a tissue type. There are also outlines in your text. Most textbooks present information in outline format, but again, there's a lot in between the headings. An outline like the one above is not always readily visible in your textbook, but you can make an outline based on the headings in your textbook. There is often an explanation of how information is organized in your textbook at the beginning of the book. Most books will use font size, font style, and/or color to let you know where you are in the outline when you begin a new section. So if you go check out the beginning of the text, you will have a better understanding of where you are within an outline, and it'll be easier for you to recognize when you're looking at things that are examples of the same thing. So get the most out of that expensive textbook and look at the beginning, learn how it's organized. Using outlines. Make an outline like the one I showed you about topics you struggle with. Really, you ought to make one about every topic, but in particular, look at topics you're struggling with. Understand how the items you are learning about are related to each other and in which category they belong. Look at the outline and ask further questions about the material. If you're looking at an outline, you see things all grouped together, it's very easy to ask a study partner to give you examples of things or to tell you what the differences are between things, and you can ask yourself those same questions when you're studying by yourself. As you look at it, as I was just mentioning, give examples at each level of organization. Study with outlines you make or copy from your text. More organizing. There are other ways to organize information as well. You can find downloadable examples of graphic organizers at my website, as on the screen. Organizing and relating information will help you remember things, help you know where the holes in your knowledge are, and even help you think up questions you didn't know you had. If you didn't see video number 1, you'll know I'm big on asking questions. Go find video number 1 and learn something about how asking questions can help you become a better student. So study smart, organize, and think. Make sure you're thinking when you study. Good luck, but it's not really about luck. It's about using quality time and quality thought when you study, when you listen to lecture, when you think about what you are learning, and how often you ask questions about what you are learning. Happy learning!